I feel that humanity is, in a sense, experienced a predicament like this polar bear, with the melting ice, losing his grounding and life-sustaining environment. Now, I think it's evident to everybody that we live not only in a period of globalization, but complexity is the name of the game. And it's clearly the time where we need to develop new and effective ways of coping to meet our present and future challenges. Because the situation is hotter and hotter and more dramatically discomfortable. One of our Academy members, Paul Cruzen, long time ago said that the obvious, that is us, human being, know some unknown evil that is the variable impacting the whole planet, certainly all the human and all the life forms. The challenge to be faced are growing every day. And so if we want to have a solid basis for a sustainable society, we have to re-examine what we understand in terms of global, social, economic, political, and cultural way of knowing and way of behaving. In other words, our way of being, our relationship with ourselves, with others, with the world. Cough, cough. We, creating a very smelly situation. And as one of our Academy founders said, that certainly would be stupid to try to solve the problems with the frame of mind we created them. We have to see out of the box. And unfortunately, the situation is not only that we have problems, but that we created them, and the tools we are currently using are part of the problem, not of the solution. So, in accordance with what Albert Einstein said, we need a new frame of minds, new frame of knowing, new ways of management. So a paradigm change. With paradigm change, very practical, human-centered, to allow us to deal effectively with our quagmire of problems. And this is urgent, every day more urgent. So we are, as our Honorable President Ivo reminds us, 2.5 minutes before midnight. We are, in other words, on the brink of catastrophe. So, taking economy, because this is a topic in society, but would be the same any other subject matter that in regard to humanity, we need a new paradigm in economy, and this is evident to start in how we see things, how we measure things. The traditional metrics do not measure reality. So, more dysfunctional than this, what you want? The return on investment, for example. It shows good news, even when we're destroying human and natural capital, making money. Great. Or the general national product or world product, blinding us to see that the people and natural environment are the most valuable resources, and, citizens the best natural resources and their resilience, their creativity, one of the best, gold, better than platinum. And still we're blind to that. There are so many examples. Another example of blindness is what we use, the so-called bottom line. That's another way to make ourselves blind and negate reality. How much money one makes for manufacturing and selling a product, that's a way that not only is inaccurate, superficial, but create harms. So we usually ignore the so-called ecology of context. We, see things out of context, and instead it's dramatically necessary. And the ecology of context helps us to see that everything is a process, and there is no separate entity, and everything is interacting and affecting. So we don't see that everything is processed. But they show us in the late 20s with quantum physics that we are in a universe of relationship, a mutually influencing process. So, for example, if we see this vision applied to environmental ecology, it's obvious that agriculture includes a context that has so many variables that interact: climate, soil, plant genetics, including, if Monsanto has, secured the rights to use all the seeds in the world, even in a small village, and make their own property, government policy, social and cultural construct, personal beliefs of the people that farm the land, and so many other variables that is too much in this short time to mention. But anyhow, the ecology of complex is to see that everything is a dynamic, complex process of multiple relationships influence each other. So is the life cycle assessment so they already exist, and I'm not going to discuss too much because it's known, just to example, and this material are going to be available also in the future in our website, so anybody can use it and consult it. So the life cycle assessment, and so basically we need to see what we call an economy with a new set of eyes, with a new set of context. And, if we see it less distorted way, less blindly, with less denial, we would have tools to protect and promote the welfare and the prosperity. And instead, we seem to be keen to promote the consumption binge. More is better, not necessarily so. And also, we would be better able to regulate what it seems now like in a horror movie. No, we need to blunt the fangs of what is this consumption frenzy, like an epilepsy of, okay. So, a new paradigm in economy, but we cannot think that we need to start from scratch. We have some best practices. An example, green and blue economies are such example. And so, green economy as a sustainable management science, and also blue economy that was actually promoted and created by one of our Academy member, Gunter Pauli, and his book they have many best practices and example that show how to create solutions that both environmental beneficial and sustainable can create also decent profit and also promote prosperity. So a society that is protecting and promoting prosperity is also protecting and promoting what really makes a difference in society. Some call it different form of capital, human capital, like social intelligence, psychological resilience, creativity, health and well-being. Just on health, because we don't promote and protect health and well-being, we have created black holes that will not only absorb finances, but also destroy potentiality and increment suffering and dysfunction. So we really need also to see better things, a new form of education that is human, people-centered, and that gives tools, and that doesn't exclude anything, including spirituality and human rights. I fully agree with Winston on this, and most of all, peace. Peace and prosperity go hand in hand. Sustainable governance, sustainable entrepreneurship, and most of all, in any walk of life, learning to learn, becoming wise, learning from our mistakes. And some existential grounding, being aware that we are part of the universe. I go fast because the time is really short. I give you an example of, tools that we already possess, the environmental economic accounting, the total economic value, the triple bottom line, the quadruple bottom line, other indicator, world happiness resource, the human development index, and so many others, and more we can create. So we had, most of all, to keep in mind that we live in a socially construed reality, and that in order to be effective and operate in science and conscience, we have to make explicit epistemologies, hermeneutics, I'm talking about value, power distribution, access to resources, equal opportunity, metrics, short, medium, long-term impacts of what we do, sustainability gradients, stakeholder bias, because we see things with our, assumption, as well the kind of metrics that we use to measure what we call profit, productivity, and progress. Since there is really little time, I suggest that also we employ more people-centered approaches. What I mean, scientifically grounded and verified approaches that put people and value at the center. They are, validated for the last 75 years, and we need to offer people, not only the professor, not only everybody, compass of being in relation with ourselves and others, and promoting effectively human and environmental capital, so sociocultural level, environmental level, economic, psychological, and spiritual. And all together, I think we can make it. Good luck to all of us.